Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching episode 1 of the Smallin and Ballin series on Frühling. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing? And welcome to the Smallin and Ballin series that we have going here on Frühling. Ooh, I tell you what. Now, the very first YouTube series I ever did was on Kleinsland. It was very much like this little challenge I got going for myself here. And they were both by that one and this map right here were both by the map maker Ka77e. So I think it's kind of neat that I go ahead and I'm going to jump off and do a nice little small machinery challenge here as well. Ooh, I tell you what. Now, some of the nitty-gritty facts that we're going to be dealing with here is small in my mind here is going to be under 150 horsepower. That is kind of the idea, the spirit of everything. Now, when it comes to that, I am going to go ahead and kind of limit how high we can go with all of this stuff here. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I only can have one tractor that's over 125 horsepower. Now, along with that, that tractor that is at 125 horsepower and above should at least be able to use one implement that is 125 horsepower and above, so we will go ahead and allow that as well. Other than that, everything else has to be underneath. So if I decide that I have a tractor that's 130 horsepower, well, if I want to get something that's a little bit higher, I have to get rid of that one as well, just to kind of keep everything nice, neat, and secure. Now, one of the things that I have done, because when you start off on this on all modes, you start off with animals and tractors and implements. We got rid of all of that. We have $100,000 in the bank, and we have a $30,000 loan. So we got that going for us. Some of the other things we want to try and accomplish here is we would like to try and own all the numbered fields. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that. That means 15, 13, 14, all of these numbered fields. There are a handful of grass fields on here. Those I don't have to own. But if I want to get them, I can. It's not a have to at that point. So I need to go ahead and get all of these guys here. So that's one of the things we got to work with here. We will have 1 day per month set up. We will not be playing with seasons. We will be playing with lime, weeds, stone, the need to plow, and crop damage on normal economics. So I think we should be able to go ahead and do some of this stuff here. Now, doing production chains. That is something that's kind of new, kind of neat to the FS22 land in comparison to FS19. I don't think there's going to be any requirements to do any of the production things, but I can tell you what, when it comes to making money and being able to purchase all the land, that's definitely going to make a ton of sense. I think we're definitely going to want to look at doing something like that. Yeah, I think that might make a lot of sense for what we got going on here. Help us earn a little extra cash. And the total amount of money that we're going to need to have on hand to be able to purchase every last one of the fields is $726,687. So I got an uphill battle, especially when it comes to the fact I'm going to be using all small equipment. So speaking of small equipment, I think we're going to go ahead and run into town and probably buy ourselves a tractor. But one thing I want to do before I get to that point is I'm going to cut through here. Oh, there's a fence. I can't cut through there. I want to take a look and see what contracts are available, because I want to go ahead and be able to buy the main farm. I just do. I like it. It's neat looking. I was thinking about potentially starting on one of the grass fields and just kind of creating my farm out of nowhere, but I really, really like how that starting farm looks. I love how it's set up. So I guess without any further ado, let's go ahead and start the spending right now. We're going to go ahead and buy the main farm. Now that leaves us with $440,000, or it said $40,400, which is actually the exact same price as one of these fields out here. I don't remember which one it was per se. But I think definitely maybe investing in a field might not be a bad idea. Now, this field may be one that we want to look at doing. I mean, we can go ahead and take out loans. It's not that it's out of the question. We're going to go ahead and go through everything. Contracts-wise, here's another little stipulation we have to work around or work with. If you notice, let's use this guy right here. You see this contract right here? It's a harvesting contract. This harvester right here, I think that might be the Nova. Let's come back here and check that out really quick. If you take a look at the horsepower on the Nova, it's 175 horses. That is too high. That's over our 150 horsepower threshold. So that means I cannot do that contract. I cannot do it unless I have my own harvester. So we do have one harvester on here right now that we can go ahead and use. And that thing is sitting at 105 horses. It's not a huge thing, but it's at least something to go ahead and get ourselves started with. I don't think I want to go ahead and get that one just yet. I think we're going to come back here, take a look at the contracts really quick and see what we got going on in here. Because like I said, I want to take a look at that, and that'll kind of determine what we want to go ahead and do. It does look like we have 2 fertilizing contracts that we can go ahead and do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to accept that contract. I'm going to accept that contract, and we're going to go ahead and look at buying ourselves a tractor. Now, we do have a couple options here that we can go ahead and pick from. We do have a couple nice little internationals right here. They're not too shabby. We got a Frühling. That's right up at the 150. I don't think I want to spend that type of cash yet. So I'm thinking where we're going to go ahead and start off with. Let's see, how much is this going to end up costing if we go ahead and boost the horsepower in here? Max that thing out at 110. 75. Let's see, what's this one? Yeah, this is just barely under, and it gets us a little bit more horsepower. So I think we're actually going to go with this tractor right here. We may end up having to go ahead and get some other things on it later on, but I think for a time being, this may be what we want to go ahead and do. Let's get this weight up as high as we can go to weigh that thing down. We will buy that. You betcha. We're going to back up here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to lease for the time being, because I'd like to see how much money we have here. I want to go ahead and purchase. Let's see here. 25. What's the difference between these two? Oh, this one allows me to have a smaller setup. Yeah, why not? We'll look at this one then. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to lease this thing right now. It's not too shabby. We'll be able to pay for it in the long run. And now we're still looking at, we have $26,000 left, if my math is somewhat correct. So taking a look at the farmland, let's see what we could actually potentially buy here. It's looking like just this little strip down here. That might be all that we can go ahead and purchase. It's either that or that's 37. That one's 30. That one's 29. Oh, we have $30,000. We could get this one. I don't believe there's anything on here. I tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to go ahead and load up some fertilizer because there's a filling station on the map here. And I'll think about it because I'm not too sure what we're going to go ahead and do. So I tell you what, we'll go ahead. I'll get started on that, and I will catch up with you guys in a little while. All right, guys, welcome back. I have completed 2 of the contracts so far on field 11 and then on field 2 as well. So that's not too shabby. Got that knocked out pretty darn slick. You know, to be honest with you guys, I've never used this fertilizer spreader before, ever. Just, I don't know, it seems like it's something that, I just not necessarily want to use all the time. I don't know, it always seems like it's too small, but I tell you what, it shoots out 42 meters, and that is very, very impressive. I think that's getting all the way out there. I'm not sure. I really can't tell when it's up this high, so I'm going to pop on out and see where we're at. Oh, I'm missing stuff big time. That is for sure. That is for sure here. But you know what? It ain't too shabby. Ain't too shabby one bit. Now, one of the things I'm going to do here really quick, and I forgot to say this before, I'm going to go ahead and turn time up to ×3. Now, I'm going to leave it rocking and rolling at that time. I can take time and move it faster if I want to, skip forward a little bit or something like that. But when it comes to slowing it down, I'm not going to. I had it slow, just kind of, we're getting things started, figuring out what we're going to do here. But that's it. That's it. No more going slow. We're gonna have the time rocking and rolling, going fast. One of the things I'd like to go ahead and say is that, with us being said that we're going to be going ahead and doing smaller equipment, smaller machinery, smaller everything, I'll be honest with you, I don't know everything. I don't know all the equipment. I don't know all that stuff. So if you guys can, one of the things I'd really appreciate if you guys could do to help me out through this whole challenge that we got going on is comment down below. Let me know if you guys know of any small equipment that you guys might particularly like, that you guys might find to be, ooh, maybe this might not be a bad idea. And share that with me, because I don't know. I don't know what's going to work out best. I don't know what is really all out there, with FS22 being relatively new. When I did my Kleinsland series, it was a little bit easier because there were lots and lots of mods, all sorts of options. I got a lot of really good advice, a lot of really good mods that were suggested to me on that. And now with FS22, there's not a lot right now on Mod Hub. I should say the in-game Mod Hub that is, I guess, kind of fits this category necessarily. So I don't know if you guys know of any other locations, maybe third-party things or anything like that, something that you guys may know that's out there that I might not know of. I would really appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna park this thing in here for right now. Now, when we go ahead and we take a look at this animal-wise here, I'd like to get some of all the animals. Not necessarily max out all the animals or anything like that, but I'd like to get some of the animals. Because like I said, that's 726,000, almost 700. Well, we'll just say a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of money. I'm going to need to wheel and deal and scheme all day long if I want to get anything going on here. And one of the things I'm going to have to look at is this sweet little bad mamma jamma right here. Now, this little bad mamma jamma is a silage or a fermenting silo, so that's pretty darn cool. And we'll come over here. It's not going to show us what the options are, so we'll come on here like this. That's right, I did get another contract, so let's go ahead and collect all of those that are right there. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I did get another contract, so I decided, we'll go ahead and accept that one. A plowing contract? Let's take a look. We're going to take a look at some other things here real quick. But this is one thing that's kind of nice here. So we can go ahead and make grass. We can make hay silage. We can make chaff silage. And we can make straw silage. This one here is going to be very, very useful for getting fields and be able to take the straw off and go ahead and use it to make silage, because we'll be able to make pretty darn good money off of it. Now, when it comes to the chaff silage, I don't know of any mod that I could actually use to get chaff silage by going ahead and smashing down the corn using a forage harvester or anything like that. Because you take a look at the forage harvesters that are here in the game. It's not forage harvester. Here's forage harvester. 626, 650, almost 1,000, 775, over 1,000. That's a lot. That's a little bit over the 150,000. And I don't know of any mods that are out there. I know of a couple mods that are very low horsepower, like 200, but nothing that would actually fit into that category. So if anybody knows of any forage harvesters out there that are meet a requirement, getting in that 150, I'd really appreciate it if you were to go ahead and give me some love and comment down below. Let me know what's going on with that. Oh man, but as for that, moving forward, I think one thing we're going to go ahead and do here really quick is let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this right here. We're going to take a look at our farmland. We have, let's see, where are we at? We have $29,000 right now. 29,000. There's 20,000 right there. There's 25. There's 40. I think 14 might be the field for us, just as a starter field. It's either that or we save up, do a couple contracts, get some stuff. That might be a route for us to go. Let's take a look at what is on field 14. I think that'd be a good place to look. Field 14 right now is potatoes. Well, if I go ahead and get field 14, I'm actually going to have to go ahead and plow the potatoes in, which is unfortunate. It looks like they're kind of far along. The reason for that is that there isn't anything I can go that fits our requirements. So that's out. That's out of the scenario. Well, darn. I think with that being said, maybe our best bet might be, let's see here. Maybe it might be just doing some contracts for just a little bit here. Doing some contracts, trying to save up a couple extra bucks so we can go ahead and earn some money. That might be an option. I mean, it's 15,000, but yeah, we'd have to invest some money in some silage and all that sort of stuff. You know what I think we're going to go ahead and do here for a little bit? Let's see here. Our contracts, 1,000 for the sowing, 2,000 for the plowing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to accept this contract. We'll accept that contract right there. We're going to come in here like this, and for plowing, let's take a look and see what we got for plows that meet our requirement. Well, that's a little high. That one we could go ahead and get. Let's see, what does this cost to lease? 900, so we'd make about 1,000. Ultimately, we're going to end up buying this guy right here, but I don't want to invest all that money into it right off the bat. So we're going to go ahead and lease this guy and go ahead and start plowing our fields. So why don't you give me a minute? I'm going to drive up. I'm going to grab that plow, and I'll meet you out in the fields. Right, time to head off into the field. Now I'm gonna stop here for just 1 second, hop on out. Yeah, I guess if the horsepower is there, it really doesn't matter. I was a little worried. I took a look at that chisel plow right there, and I got a little nervous that it might be too big, but it looks like it'll probably work. I guess only time will tell, ultimately. What's going on? Must have had sorghum in that field. Pretty slick. I like it. That's as good a spot as any. Gonna drive on in here. Drop that down. Oh, nice. Let's get this all lined up and get ourselves rocking and rolling. Ooh, man. Horsepower struggling here on this. There we go. It's all about rhythm, I guess. Gotta just get the rhythm rocking. Oh man, let's pop on out here so it's not as loud, because that our tractor is, I'm not gonna lie, she's screaming. She is definitely screaming. Oh man. So one of the things we're gonna keep in mind here, or at least I'm gonna try and keep in mind here, is that when it comes to going ahead and doing like a lot of these contracts or a lot of the field work, and all right, I'm gonna have to just drive this myself. When it comes to doing a lot of contracts and a lot of the field work out here, I'm gonna be doing the majority of it myself. I may hire a helper from time to time to kind of help aid in the process. But I'll be honest with you, right here off the bat, I don't really see much of a reason for it. I mean, it's just me out here on the farm. We don't even have a field yet, to be honest with you, so I'm just not seeing it that it's going to have to be something that we're going to end up needing to jump into. Long term, though, if we are really truly... Come on, let's get up through this here. If we really truly are going to be getting all of the fields, which, again, that's the goal, there's a lot of stuff out here. There's 15 fields. Obviously, it's none of them are large fields by any means, but there are fields out here that we're going to have to go ahead and invest time and energy in, and it is bound to happen where we're going to have multiple fields rocking at the same time. So we're just going to do what we can, try and do the majority of the stuff ourselves, but if it comes down to it, it comes down to it. Missing some stuff there, but it's not the end of the world. Could be worse, could be worse. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hoping some of those, oops, get over here, making kind of a mess. I'm kind of hoping that we get some more fertilizing contracts, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and hold on to all of this equipment that I'm leasing long-term, or at least that's my goal. Ultimately, I want to be able to purchase the stuff, like this plow right here. I'm going to go like this and get this guy straightened back out here. And yes, even though I just said I'm going to try and not hire a helper, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hire a helper here for just 1 minute while I go ahead and talk. But I want to get them lined up first. There we go. Hire helper there. Get them lined up. So, I mean, you take a look at that chisel right there. This is the pack that I got. This is the only one I can find. And if you guys know of any plows that are out there that are 3.3 meters or right around that, I'll even look at like a 3-meter plow. That'd be something that would help me out a ton too. I really don't have much for options, and I don't think there are a lot of options out there right now. You have this guy that's 1.5, or not even 1.5 meters, so you know, it's one of those games. What do you go about doing? No, you don't need to be doing that anymore. Quit spinning your tires, man. Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm already smelling that already. I may have to really think about how I go about plowing these fields. Especially with this particular setup. I mean, we're ultimately going to end up having to plow our own fields and our own stuff and all of that stuff as well. So we may end up having to go ahead and look at getting something slightly different here for tractor-wise. We're going to do what we can. We're going to do what we can. I think we'll be fine. Maybe it's a matter of getting some different tires on this thing, because it does have an option to have some dualies. That might give us a little bit more traction out here in the fields. I'm not too sure. I'm not too shabby. All in all, I'm pretty stoked for this. I'm liking this. This map is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm very, very impressed with this one right here. So, it's just great. It's just great. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. There's something to be said about rocking and rolling out here with the smaller equipment. And unfortunately, I think that's one of the things that's really lacking from FS22 to start off with here. There's not a large option for trying to rock and roll with a small setup like this. So I'm really heavily leaning on the mods, Come on, mods. Oh, man. Well, I'm not going to lie, guys. This is going to take me a little while, so I'm just going to keep on rocking and rolling, and hopefully I can get a good chunk of this knocked out relatively soon. But, we'll see. We'll see. Well, as you guys can see, yeah, I ended up having to get something a little bit different here. What I was rocking and rolling with, it just kept on struggling. So we ended up having to spend an extra $3 grand to get these sets of tires like this. But after I did that, the slipping went down quite a bit. I was not worried about it at all then. We were able to go up and down the field with relative ease, no issues whatsoever. Well, I can't say no issues whatsoever. We're still bogging down just a hair. But I tell you what, you know, I'll be honest with you, I'm used to being able to go ahead when I'm doing my plowing and everything like that. Just being able to go ahead, plow, turn as I'm plowing, rocking and rolling, and just keep going. Essentially never stop moving. I couldn't do that. Once I got to the ends of the field, I had to pick up my plow, turn around, get myself situated, and then do it again. It was kind of a neat little experience, you know, to go about doing that. And I think, you know, that's one of the neat things I think I'm going to be discovering here. Now, I do know that a big issue with why I was having problems is because of the new way that here on FS22, or I should say the way that things work on FS22 compared to FS19, we're going to actually go this way here. With the gear shifting, it's an entirely different system. You have that a bit of lag, you have that little bit of give, or however you want to say it, and hitch in the step that you get when you're shifting from the low gears to the high gears. And that is actually what was causing a lot of issues on this. Was that fact. I couldn't get a grip, couldn't get myself going, and then here I am trying to upshift and the downshift, upshift and downshift, and it just, oh boy, it was just an absolute mess, to be honest with you. An absolute mess. But we were able to get down with that field. There were a couple little plots out there that for some reason just weren't allowing me to plow. I'm not sure what the heck it was. I'm not overly concerned by it by any means, but it was just something I want to keep my eye on when it comes to doing stuff in the future. Now, one of the things I'd like to go ahead and do, I haven't really done this ever before, is when it comes to rocks on the fields. I know pretty much everybody here in game, if they're actually still playing with rocks, they like to go ahead and do the one rock picker. I'm drawing a blank on what it is. Which one am I thinking of here? This guy, the Scorpio. I think I'm probably gonna look at getting one of these buckets. I figure, why not? Either one of these guys here, which I think this one holds just 900 liters, depending. That guy, or I do have something here in the front loader tools here. I do have this bucket right here, and this one can pick up stones. It does do 1,000. It's just a hair more expensive, but I don't know. Maybe that's something we go ahead and look at doing. Now, Obviously, if that gets to be too much of a pain in the butt, that does stink. This is 120 horsepower. I could use this if I really wanted to, but I'll be honest with you, I want to give this a shot. I really do. I want to give this a shot. This is cheaper to go ahead and do, so we might go ahead and do this. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? For that price plus the front loader price, it's like filling this thing up twice. But you do run into the... down this way a little bit farther. You do run into the fact that, okay, now you got to do something with these things. And, oh, it could be kind of a pain. It could be fun. I don't know. And I guess a question for you guys, if you want to. Again, another question. Comment down below. Let me know what you got to think about this. How do you guys feel about taking the rocks and making them into lime? I personally am kind of on the fence about that. I'm not 100% sure how I really feel about it. I like it in the fact that it makes doing rocks make a little bit more sense. You get something out of it instead of just taking them to the rock crusher for nothing, essentially, and then that's it. You're done. There you go. Move on. I don't know. I like the, like I said, I like the idea of being able to do something on the rocks. It'd be kind of nice if there was some sort of production facility or something like that where you could go ahead and take the rocks that you get, maybe make it into aggregate, or maybe you have a rock sorter or a stone sorter or something like that, that you can go ahead and sell the different size rocks for a different size price. Maybe it's like a I don't know if you guys remember the potato cleaner, the potato washer. Maybe something similar to that, where you can go ahead, you can take and wash the rocks, clean the rocks, and then you can sell them for a little bit more money. I don't know, I think I'd like that a little bit more than making the stones into lime. I mean, that's my own personal opinion. I don't know. Like I said, let me know what you guys have to say about that, because I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I am really just not sure. But when we're going ahead and looking at animals, I know, animals, what does that have to do with stones? You're right. It has nothing to do with... Oh, that's beautiful. It has nothing to do with it. One of the things I'd like to try and do, I've done this in the past where I've gone ahead and got animals, let's say chickens, for example, here, and then I just go to the store and buy the food, bring it over here until I can actually make something out in the field. I think one of the things I'd like to try and do first is at least get some of the components ready. In this case, get some wheat or something, whether it's by doing contracts, I get a little extra first before I start getting the animals. I don't know, I think that's a nice little way of doing it. I mean, you don't have to. I think I'd like to try doing it that way this time around. Just because, you know, it's a little bit different from what I have been doing a lot recently, which is buying the animals, working on getting stuff out in the field, whatever it is, and then supplementing that with stuff you can buy at the shop just until. Oh, man. Well. Oh, jeez, we got deer over here already. Get on out of here. Get on out of here. Oh, boy. Ah, jeepers. Well, guys, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and shut her down for the first episode here. I'm excited. I'm liking where this is going to head. Oh, wait a second here. Let's go like this. Let's accept these contracts really quick. Collect, 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 and that actually helped pay for a lot of the stuff that I had done. I'm kind of interested in this, but I don't know what we got for baling. This is kind of a nice idea. I don't know about that, though. I'd have to go out and buy a harvester. I can do that, but then I'd put off buying a field a little bit longer out. Oh, man, I'm not really sure where to go, guys. What do I do? Do I get a harvester or do I get a field? I'm not sure. Decisions. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, hopefully you stick around to see what happens here. Follow this along. Give me your input. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're feeling. Oh, I betcha. If you're liking what you're hearing, liking what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. Do what you can to help the channel out and hit the subscription. Ooh, I tell you what, that really does help out a lot. Go ahead, turn the notification bell on, have it set to all, that way you know when this and other great videos are coming on out. Go ahead and share this with somebody who likes small equipment. Let them know that LockNutz sent you. Or don't mention me at all. It depends how much you like that person. Oh, guys, I am ready. I am raring to go. I want to win. And I want to do it with style. Thanks for stopping by.